iPhones are designed to turn on automatically when they're connected to a power source and have enough battery life to turn on.
When your iPhone dies and you plug it into charge, it should turn back on in about 10 minutes, depending on the charger you use.
But if your iPhone isn't turning on again, the first thing you need to try is a hard reset while connected to the power source.
But my phone isn't turning on. How can I hard reset it, David?
Just trust me, we'll get to that in a minute. A hard reset forces your iPhone to abruptly turn off and back on. On an iPhone 8 and newer, quickly press and release the volume up button, then the volume down button, and then press and hold the side button. Keep holding until the screen goes black and the Apple logo appears on the screen.
Well, presumably the screen is black because the phone won't turn on. So you have to keep holding for 30 seconds, all right? Don't give up too soon. That's when people would go to the Apple store and I'd fix their phone in 30 seconds.
Yeah, my Apple logo is here. If you have an iPhone 7, it's the volume down button and the side button. iPhone 6S and older, it's the home button and the power button.
Again, hold down the buttons way longer than you think you should have to.
Hopefully this fixed the problem for you, and if it did, please give us a thumbs up on your way out. It helps us reach more people and fix more iPhones. A hard reset can fix this problem when the software has crashed on your iPhone, making the display appear black, appear that your iPhone is off, but really it's been on the whole time.
Even if a hard reset did work for you, you might want to stick around until the end of the video because we haven't fixed the underlying reason that caused your iPhone to crash in the first place.
We'll show you how to fix the problem for good later in this video.
But if the Apple logo didn't appear on the screen and the hard reset didn't fix your phone, don't give up. It's time to move on to the next step.
And that next step is to try a different charger. Chargers have different wattages and amperages. Generally speaking, the more watts, the higher the amperage, the faster your iPhone will charge.
When you charge your iPhone, the cable is like the garden hose. The wattage is the water pressure. The amperage is the width of the hose, or how much you can charge it at once.
18 watt and higher chargers allow for fast charging on the iPhone 8 to the iPhone 11 Pro. If you have an iPhone 12 Pro or newer, you need a 20 watt charger to fast charge your iPhone. That's up to 50% in 30 minutes.
On the flip side, car chargers and the USB ports you find on laptops generally are pretty low amperages and they charge your phone slowly.
If you're using a wall charger, try plugging it into a different outlet. If you're using a USB port on your computer, try a different USB port.
And if you are using your computer, make sure you plug in your computer too, because sometimes laptops shut off the USB charging to save their own battery power.
It's also a good idea to try a wireless charger or a MagSafe charger. Even if your iPhone doesn't support MagSafe, it'll still wirelessly charge on a MagSafe charger.
Another caveat is that if you plug in your iPhone to a charger and you hear any sound, your iPhone is actually on and there's a problem with your display, so you need to fix that.
If your iPhone charges wirelessly fine, but it's not working with cables, there's probably an issue with your cable, your charger, or the charging port on your iPhone.
Just like with chargers, try a different charging cable if your iPhone won't charge. Maybe it's a cheap cable, maybe it's frayed, maybe it isn't MFI certified.
MFI stands for Made for iPhone. These are cables that have been certified to work with Apple devices like the iPhone and iPad.
Sometimes I go to the local gas station and I see lightning cables for $5. Those are not MFI certified. And the way you know is that it won't have the little Made for iPhone logo on the side. Sometimes there's a little sheath on the end of a charging cable that needs to be pushed back so that the cable can go all the way into the charging port on your iPhone.
After trying different charging cables, try cleaning out your iPhone's charging port. This is an extremely important step that some other YouTube tutorials on this problem don't even address.
And it's one of my favorite steps we ever talk about.
Even if your charger and charging cable are working perfectly, they might not be able to make a clean connection with your iPhone if the charging port is filled with lint or dirt or some other debris.
Grab an unused toothbrush or an anti-static brush and brush out the bottom of your iPhone to get out any debris that's stuck in there.
Yeah, feel free to be very aggressive because it could be a little bit compacted in there and see what comes out. We got a little speck there. Yeah, we've got some specks.
Don't use anything metal because that can damage the charging port and then you've got a whole other problem.
Once your charging port is clean, try charging your iPhone again to see if that has fixed the problem. It wouldn't hurt to do another hard reset after about 10 to 15 minutes too.
The next thing we could do to completely rule out a software problem here is to do a DFU Restore, which is the deepest type of restore you can do on an iPhone, but the first step to that is to put your iPhone into DFU mode. If your iPhone won't turn on, there still is a chance you can put it into DFU mode because it could just be this really bad software problem that's causing the issue. I saw phones at the Apple store where DFU mode would still work.
We do have to warn you that a DFU Restore erases and reloads every single line of code on your iPhone, meaning you will lose all of your data if it's not backed up.
But hopefully it is on iCloud or in iTunes on your computer. You can always try plugging your iPhone into iTunes on your computer, but we already tried that And if it didn't work, it's not going to work now.
The only way to know if this will work is to try it out. If you have a Mac running Mac OS 10.15 or newer, you'll use Finder. If you're using a PC or any Mac running 10.14 or older, you will use iTunes.
It doesn't matter if it's your Mac or PC or somebody else's. In this case, we're not syncing any data. We're just using a computer to DFU restore this iPhone.
My Mac is running Ventura, so I've opened Finder. I'm gonna look for my iPhone underneath locations. There it is.
If you see your iPhone show up on your Mac, but it's not charging, well, it is charging, it is on. You just probably have a problem with your screen and you should back it up right now.
If you're using iTunes, look for the phone icon near the upper left-hand corner of the screen.
But since you're watching this video, it's likely you aren't seeing your iPhone in iTunes or in Finder on a Mac. So we are gonna try to put it into DFU mode. The process starts off just like a hard reset, right? So we go volume up, volume down, and then press and hold the side button for 10 seconds. Get yourself a timer. Then after 10 seconds, we're gonna keep holding the side button and press and hold the volume down button along with that for 5 seconds. And then after 5 seconds, we're gonna release the side button and just keep holding the volume down button until your iPhone shows up in iTunes or in Finder.
If your iPhone makes it into DFU mode, just follow the instructions on the screen. You can also exit DFU mode anytime by performing a hard reset. Volume up, volume down, press and hold the side.
And just keep going.
Just keep holding.
Don't give up. It's gonna take a while.
My phone is gonna be so confused after this.
It does.
No idea what to do.
We see it disappear from David's computer.
And the Apple logo is now on the screen again. If you're still here, your iPhone won't turn on and you can't put it into DFU mode, it's time to talk about repair options.
It could be a whole bunch of different things, like a bad battery, a faulty charging port. Maybe you smashed it or dropped it or ran over it with your car. There's something wrong. You probably need professional help.
If you recently got your phone fixed at a third-party repair store and right when you got home, this problem started happening, consider going back to there and yelling at them and say, hey, you screwed up my phone.
But to keep things simple, especially if your phone is under warranty, go to an Apple store, make a Genius Repair appointment first before you go in so you don't have to stand around and wait.
Apple also offers phone support and mail-in repair. The mail-in program is extremely fast, like 24 hours fast.
We probably shouldn't make any promises on their behalf. But why not?
Why not? Yeah.
They'll get it back to you in 24 hours. Just tell them to pay it forward, said you.
Yeah, perfect.
They'll say, who?
There's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to charging iPhones. Check out our next video where we debunk a whole bunch of charging myths.